We're keeping your fingers on the pulse of interesting and historic places in Louisville, and this one happens to be both. We're at the Meagher Aquatic Center, I want to say that correctly, named after the legend, Mary T. Meagher. You may know her as Madam Butterfly. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about all the programs here and the reason why this is so historic and fun. With me now is Beth Darrell, who is the supervisor here at the Mary T. Meagher Aquatic Center. Beth, thank you for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me.
Okay, you and I were talking a little bit. You've been here for quite some time, right?
I've been here on and off since about 2003. I started at Shelby Park Pool back when we had like 11 outdoor swimming facilities.
Obviously, this is a great day to be in a swimming pool. This one's a little bit different because it's more than just a pool. You talk about community involvement. The programs that you do here, the universities that come in, the serious training and athletes that have come out of here. Talk a little bit about all that, Beth.
Well, we are the home to Lakeside Swim Team about 9 months out of the year when they're not swimming down at the lake. They have a couple hundred swimmers that practice here on a daily basis in the mornings and in the afternoons and early evenings. We host the middle school swim meets coming up the next couple. They'll have 3 or 4 swim meets here on the Fridays, and that's all JCPS middle school swim teams. Bellarmine University practices here and uses this facility for their home swim meets, as does Lakeside. And we have the Louisville Master swim team, which is an 18 and over swim team in the Louisville area that practices here daily.
Wow. So to do all that you do, when you talk about programs and universities and classes and all of that, your hours are long. So this is a little bit unusual. You know, a lot of pools, it's like, hey, you know, about 11 o'clock we open. We're going to close down about 7 o'clock. That's not the case here, is it?
We open at 5 a.m. We open up with swim team practices and also people coming in before they go to work and whatnot. And we're open for lap swim from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then from 10 to 3 Saturday and Sunday. We have recreational hours from 12 to 3 every day, which is your family swim time. We have evening family swims on Friday evenings at 7 o'clock. And we do a lot of swim lessons during the weekdays. We've started up our swim program and getting swim lessons back to the community at a reasonable rate.
So you may have one of your grandparents who swim here or maybe come in here to stay in shape, but this is not your grandfather's Mary T. Meagher Aquatic Center. You have had some renovations.
We have.
So you've got to be proud of those. Let's get excited. Here we
we
go.
are proud of those. It's been a long time coming, but we finally got a new tile put out here on our pool deck to make it safer and less slippery than the old tile was in the facility. Got fresh coats of paint everywhere. The last couple years we redid the lighting system in here. It's hard to tell during the daytime because it's so sunny with all the windows and lights coming in. But we give it a freshen up every August or so. We'll shut down for a little bit to get either new water, new tile. This year we got the tile, which is a huge step.
Beth, this is on a personal note here. Way back in the day, I took lessons here to learn how to scuba dive. Do you still do that? I'm just curious.
There are a few, like the police department does their dive team, does their trainings and stuff up here in the off season. The fire department does their rescue diving and stuff and all their swim certifications up here. Louisville Dive Center built their own pool, so they used to always be here, but they've built their own facility. And Seaweed Diver still comes in a little bit and does scuba certifications here as well.
I think it's interesting how, you know, obviously Metro government helps fund renovations, helps fund the pool, but there is a little bit of a, hey, responsibility with that in that we've got to serve the community. And you do that. That does separate you from other recreational pools, which I would think for you, Beth, kind of a source of pride, right?
Yeah. When somebody calls about swim lessons, I try to gear them towards our swim lessons. If they don't fit in their communities, I like at least tell them other areas that we do have that something like that is available. We certify a lot of lifeguards for all the summer pools here in Jefferson County, and even outside of the county, people come in to do their lifeguard training because we are one of the few facilities around that's open to the public year-round that can do trainings and stuff like that.
All right. Well, on behalf of our entire audience, thank you for all you do. All right, let's talk about I think you've got some events coming up here. Halloween time, doing anything special here?
We're doing.
What can you do in an aquatic center? Like put on your costumes and swim? I mean,
Well,
what do you do?
It's right after swim lessons. We'll be out in the parking lot doing our trunk or treat, our annual trunk or treat for kids to have a safe place to do some trick or treating, getting some candy in the nice daytime when it's safe. We also host a laps before naps on Thanksgiving Day.
Wait a minute, hold on. Laps before naps. Help me out here.
Laps before naps is what our administrators decided to call it, because coming in before you start eating your turkey dinner and whatnot, 5 a.m. for any of those really early risers.
Now I'm getting it.
They're going to be there. Sign up ahead of time. The entry fee for that is to bring a gift or a donation for the Kids with Cancer in the Camp Quality program.
Nice.
And we use those to have a Kids with Cancer, to invite those families here around Christmas time and have them a nice place for them to be here by themselves, enjoy the aquatic festivities, and get presents and see Santa and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, good.
So
Nice.
we're pretty proud about that.
When I opened up the segment here, Beth, I talked about Mary T. Meagher, and named after her, of course, an Olympic champion, held world records in the butterfly. Some may still exist. I mean, forever. She was that good. That also has to be something kind of special because, you know, we have people like Muhammad Ali, Daryl Griffith, Mary T. Meagher. It feels good to have, I guess, a legend behind the facility.
Right. She actually did come up last year. She celebrated her 60th birthday and brought a couple friends and stopped by and swam 60 laps for her 60th birthday. So though she doesn't live in the area any longer, she does come up and visit and spend time with the Lakeside Swim team. They'll go visit them down there, and then she'll pop in here from time to time.
Nice, very nice. Well, I've enjoyed the conversation, Beth.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We had fun, didn't we?
And we sure did.
And there's a lot of fun to be had here. Once again, we're coming to you from the Mary T. Meagher Aquatic Center. Coming up here, something you may not be aware of. Are you a gamer? I have to admit, I'm the old guy, not much of a gamer, but Louisville Makes Games, okay? I hope you have your curiosity perked a little bit with that one. So coming up here very shortly, Louisville Makes Games. We'll talk about that with Alex coming up next on Louisville Now.
We're in the Baird Urban Sports Park downtown, and we are setting up dozens of TVs, dozens of computers, projectors, all kinds of things for all of the games that we're about to show at local Game Harvest.
Louisville Makes Games is a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting game development in the city and surrounding area. To that end, we host a variety of events related to game development. This local Game Harvest is one such exhibition.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Every single one of these games was made by a local creator from Kentucky or Indiana, around those areas. Our main goal is we want to let people know that this is going on, right? And we want to make it a big deal so, you know, people can't miss it. I started getting into video game development on my own, teaching myself, and sort of doing it all completely solo. And I just assumed, I was like, oh, there's probably nobody else around me who's as interested in this as I am, because I just couldn't find them. But then I found out about Louisville Makes Games, and really, it's just been like the single biggest help for me throughout the process of becoming a game developer and being able to express myself in that way and do what I want.
Some really good advice I've heard was never work alone. What that means is you can have a solo project where you're doing all the things, wearing multiple hats, but if you're doing that alone, as in you're the only one looking at the game all the time, you're working in a vacuum. The importance of finding a community is you're going to get feedback that you hadn't heard before. You're going to see things about your work that you haven't seen before. You're going to get inspiration that you wouldn't have otherwise found.
For an event like this, I think the reward people really get out of it is just being able to see members of the public playing their game and having a good time.
I would invite anyone who's a developer. I think local Game Harvest is an event that's quite unique to not only Kentucky, but I think the region. I don't think there are many events where we're projecting video games directly onto the buildings downtown.
If you're hearing about Louisville Makes Games for the first time, please go to LouisvilleMakesGames.org, where we talk about when we're doing meetups. They're always free, always open to the public. So if this is something that sounds cool to you, please just see what Louisville Makes Games has coming up and show up.
Welcome back to Louisville Now. We're coming to you live from the Meagher Aquatic Center, and we've had a great show so far, but here comes a big day. Louisville Gives for Good. It's somewhat of a holiday here in Louisville. It is this Thursday coming up, and it's your chance to give back to your favorite charitable organization. Whatever your preference may be, whatever nonprofit that you love, a chance to give back, and that money gets doubled. So it's a huge day on Thursday. Let's talk about an entity that you can help. Louisville Makes Games. Alex Bazuska is with us. Alex, you're on the board of directors of Louisville Makes Games, right?
Yeah.
All right, Alex, we're gonna have some fun here. Okay, first of all, I have to be transparent. I'm not a gamer. So give me something that doesn't go over my head, that gives me a little bit of a grasp of what you guys do.
Yeah, so a lot of people who play video games, they might not know much about the folks who are actually creating them. And so the whole point of our organization is to give some transparency to that and to show that normal people, people in your community, maybe even your neighbors, are people who are making games. You don't have to work for a big company to make games. You don't have to be one of the 5 companies like Nintendo and Ubisoft and Blizzard and those companies to make video games. You can be part of a small team, or you can be an individual and make something yourself, because there are tools and resources out there on the internet that you could find and do things for free. And we try to promote that. And so we have all kinds of events that we do at our space, Warp Zone Louisville. We do classes, workshops, we do meetups and networking events. We do game jams, which are it's just exactly like it sounds, like jamming like musicians. So people come together for a weekend and work on a project based on a theme. And at the end of that weekend, you have a small game that you've made with some folks that you may have just met at that event. So we do all kinds of events like that.
That to me is absolutely amazing. You mentioned there, you said jam session.
Yeah.
The analogy I would use would be that it's a lot like music, in that now you can go on YouTube and get famous, and suddenly you go viral or whatever. In this case, if you get a game that happens to resonate with gamers, you really could go viral and perhaps get with one of the huge companies, right?
So it's tricky. We don't like to give people false hopes. It's
Sure.
kind of like if a kid is growing up playing basketball and they think
They're
that they
Michael
want to
Jordan.
be an NBA player.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen for everybody.
True.
And a lot of us, I would say most of us, just do it out of the passion for wanting to make things.
Better reason.
Yeah. and it's also less discouraging, because the end result of something that you make in a weekend or something that you make with your friends is a new game or experience, some kind of interactive art existing in the world that didn't exist before. And so we like to let people use it as a creative medium, something to express themselves. And there's so many different disciplines that go into making games. It's not just programming. A lot of people just assume well, I'm not a programmer, I can't get involved in that group because I don't know how to code. There are people that come at it from all different angles, like artists, storytellers, musicians, people who do sound effects, voiceover work, people that just do story, and all kinds of stuff. And there are also game engines and tools out there that you can use that don't require you to write any code. So you can make choose your own adventure type games or anything with this engine called Twine that's just free, and you could use it in your web browser. And so the tools are out there, and we just want to let people know about them and promote creating things and making stuff. So we're an arts organization primarily. We're a community first, and we made the nonprofit to support that community and to also run a physical space called Warp Zone, where we host all of our events and have we do everything out of there. It's the home base.
This is interesting, Alex, because I had this stereotype of gamers of, sitting in the basement playing games all day. But what I love about Louisville Makes Games is this is like encouraging innovation, encouraging friendships, community, getting together, because a lot of the attraction on being on a team is that camaraderie and that making of friends, and also using your brain. I mean, this is fantastic. I don't see a downside here, is what I'm saying.
I mean, it's a tricky industry to get into if you're in it to try to make a living off of it. Like a lot of things, a lot of careers or hobbies in the arts, it's something where it's really tough. So a lot of friends of mine who start off, they start off as a kid, they get interested in computers or something, and they start learning to code, and then they think oh, I want to use this to make video games because I love video games. I want to make them, and that industry is tricky to get into. So we try to make it a community thing and a thing where you can work on your passion projects and share your ideas and all that stuff. It's not so much about trying to make a profit,
Right.
but it's about that, because you can get a job doing programming at like a medical company or something, and you're going to make a better living, at least here in Louisville. But if you want to express yourself in a creative way, this is kind of like an outlet for a lot of people.
I love it.
And so
I
yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about Louisville Gives for Good, which is this Thursday. If someone wants to give to Louisville Makes Games, before we get into how they do that, because I want a little bit of a tease here, you've got a lot going on this week, Alex.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so we're calling this Giving Week. We've got we're starting it off tonight. We have a thing that we're calling it's the Hackers 30th anniversary party. There's a movie that came out in 1995 called Hackers. It's kind of a corny movie, but it for people in my generation, it was like a thing where it was like maybe your first introduction to like doing interesting stuff with computers, and it got me interested in computers. And so it's just a fun thing. We're going to play games and have a little like hacker themed party tonight. Then tomorrow night we have what we're calling well, it's basically a release party for our second music album that we produced. And so every year we do a thing called the Music Jam, where we ask local musicians to come into our space and make a music track for a fictional game. So you'll pull ideas out of a hat and literally, and then you make music based on that for a game that doesn't exist, just as an exercise, creative exercise. And then we put them all together and make an actual CD, and we sell that CD for donations. And so we're having a release party for that tomorrow night. We're live streaming it on our YouTube and Twitch.
Well, you got a lot going on.
Yeah. And then on Wednesday, we have Indie Work Night live, which is basically we're going to do interviews with game developers and talk about projects that they're working on. And then Thursday, we're doing our big live stream, which is all day long. We're starting at 10 a.m. and going until midnight, and that's going to be our big day where we're trying to get folks to donate to our Give for Good campaign.
So they just scroll down, look for Louisville Makes Games.
Yes, you could search for it. You can also go to lmg.cool. That's our short URL.
And you are cool.
Thank you. Well, thanks. So you can go to LouisvilleMakesGames.org or lmg.cool, and we'll have the information on there. But we're looking for the donations help out a ton. We're planning to do a kids camp next year, summer camp, where kids can come in and learn art and code. And so all of the events and things that we do are all free and open to the public. And so we try to use all of the money. We do use all of the money for promoting this creation of games and making stuff.
A very worthy endeavor. I mean, using your brain, making friends, it doesn't get any better than that. So once again, Louisville Gives for Good. Don't forget about Louisville Makes Games. Give generously. Okay, coming up on Louisville Now, I'm looking forward to this one. My dear friend, and a dear friend of the city, someone who has been working for the people for a long time, a guy I admire a lot, Ronell Brown. I can't wait for you to meet him. He's coming up next on Louisville Now. Welcome back to Louisville Now. We're coming to you once again from the Mary T. Meagher Aquatic Center. You know, a lot of times you hear a host say, I want to introduce my very good friend, and they hardly know each other. Well, this is truly my very good friend and a man I admire greatly. He is Ronell Brown. He has worked for the city, done numerous things that do nothing but benefit our city. Ronell, welcome in.
Thank you, John. It's good to be here, sir.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Before we talk about some of the accolades and honors that the mayor has bestowed upon you, I want to talk about your resume. For those who do not know Ronell Brown, you may have seen him and not even known it, may have been in a time of need. Tell us about your resume, Ronell.
Well, I actually didn't start off in public service. I started in manufacturing. I'm a welder. I welded for Jeff Boats and L&N.
Wow.
And once L&N moved to Jacksonville, Florida, I had to find another occupation. So I worked for a box company called Stone Containers for about 6 years. And then I tried out for the fire department. Didn't make it the first time, but made it the second time. Ended there with a 20-year career as a public information officer and a captain.
Wow.
And after I left the fire department, I worked for JCPS as a teacher assistant, teaching, helping students with autism.
Oh man, that's God's work.
Well, I think so. I like to think it is anyway, John.
So let me talk about this, brag on you a little bit. So working with kids with autism,
Yes.
firefighter, and then you moved on into metro government, the mayor's office. Tell me about your role there, Ronell.
Well, I tell you, it's interesting. While I was working at Manual, someone called and asked if I would run for the district that I live in. So I ran for the 29th seat, state representative seat against Kevin Bratcher. By doing that, I met a lot of nice people, very nice people. And then how I met Craig was one of my friends told him he needed to talk to me. And so he came out and we had a long lunch. And I said, this man is going to be mayor. And so I started working on his campaign, and that's how I ended up in his office.
Wow. Yeah, I think you recognized what a lot of us recognize. Craig is a guy who he's a doer. He's a man of action. He's about positive change. You're that way as well. Do you think that's why you aligned with Mayor Greenberg right away? Is that it?
Could be, but he has a compassionate spirit. You can tell a person that cares about people.
Yes.
And I could tell Craig he cares about people and he cares about this community.
Yeah, see, I'd love to hear about some of your favorite memories. Let's pick one. Okay, let's first of all, when you're a firefighter, what was one of your favorite memories where you felt like maybe I made a difference here?
Well, it was a couple of times. You know, I had, unfortunately, had opportunity to give CPR to someone that was in a burning house. They lived for a few days, but then they died. But the other thing was our Great Louisville Fire Drill. We used to host that every year and give away bikes to the children in the community. And people would come out and just have a wonderful time.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was some of my fond memories.
And working with autistic children, I cannot imagine how rewarding that is, just to put a smile on faces, to make parents feel comfortable, to know their child is improving. How'd that feel?
I felt really good too, John. You know, especially after I seen them after they graduated high school and was telling me what they was doing with their lives now. And you know, several of them went on to great universities and graduated, and now they're an asset to society.
You know, to give as much as you've given, Ronell, you have to love the city. So let's
yeah.
talk a little bit about that. You're a big Cardinal fan. There's
Yes,
a number of
sir.
things. You're passionate. Put those
Throw
L's up.
those L's up, baby. Yes, sir. Well, you know, Louisville, I grew up here. It's been my home most of my life. And I think if you can't make it here in Louisville, you can't make it anywhere. You know, you think about the traffic is not that bad. Some people complain about it, but you can get almost anywhere in the city in 30 minutes.
That's right.
Unheard of in California.
That's right.
Because I've been there several times, and that's
Oh, yeah.
crazy. So, but yeah, Louisville's a good hometown.
Yeah, I think, you know, cost of living is relatively low, and despite what you've heard, the crime rate is relatively low and coming down.
Yes,
There'll be
it
people
is.
who don't agree with that, but I'm just telling you, compared to other cities our size, we are safe and getting safer.
Yes, sir.
I think that's a misconception.
It is a misconception. I think people should come downtown
Yes.
after hours.
Yes.
Go to Nulu and see how much fun you can have in a safe environment. Go to the waterfront. See how much fun you can have in a safe environment. So yeah, it's a lot That's a big misconception.
I love the fact that you love the city like you do, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
out there being a great ambassador. So what you have in your hands there, this is something very special.
Oh,
The mayor bestowed this upon you, and if anyone deserved it, Ron, it was you.
Well,
Tell
thank you.
them what you have and what it means to you.
Well, I have the key to the city, John, and for the mayor to offer this and give this to me, you know, I fell apart. I mean, I feel very honored, especially from a guy that started in manufacturing and, you know, not having a full academic degrees. But in order to receive this from the mayor, I would never forget it.
You know,
It
what's
means
that
so
say,
much.
though? He recognizes what anyone who knows Ron L. Brown recognizes, that you're a man of compassion who, like you said, you guys align, you care about people. You genuinely do, Ron.
I do, yes. And you know, I had a friend, God rest his soul, when I was on the fire department. I had to help him get his driver's license and some other things. He was a custodian. But you know what he told me that resonated with me so much? He said, Captain Brown, it doesn't cost you anything to be nice. And that just sticks with me.
Yeah.
It don't cost me a thing to be nice to a person.
And you are always that. You're always
I'm
smart.
trying my best.
And you keep me optimistic. You lift people up, and that is what
thank
it's all about. Ronell, before I let you go, if you could sum up your career, obviously retired now, congratulations, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Is there anything, sum up your career a little bit and tell us one bucket list thing. What do you want to do?
Well, John, that's a good question. My bucket list is long, but what I would like to do is travel more, and hopefully I can keep my health.
Okay, and I pray for that for you,
Yeah,
Ronell, because
thank
you
you.
deserve it. If there's anyone
Thank
who
you so
deserves
much.
to enjoy the retirement, it's my friend Ron L. Brown.
Thank you,
Okay,
man.
coming up, if you'd like to know a little bit more about Ron L. Brown, we have a special video that we'd like to show you. Believe me, this man is a man for the city, a man of compassion, integrity, and he's been nothing but good for Louisville. This is a little bit more, a little bit of a look inside of Ron L. Brown.
All that and more on Louisville This Week. I'm Renell Brown, Assistant Coordinator in the Office of the Mayor. That's what I do.
That's what happened.
Have you seen GQ in action? I'm Renell Brown, filling in for John Ramsey.
Ron L., show us how you do the magic.
Here we go. And now I'm working here in the mayor's office.
We have burgers on the grill thanks to a man by the name of Ron L. Brown.
This is one of the fast meals that I was able to prepare for the guys and gals at the fire department. These are the Ronell burgers. Hope you enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Favorite thing is knowing the mayor really cares about the city. Thanks for watching Louisville Now. Have a great day. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining us. Bye.